Well, hi there, racing fans, and welcome to another edition of Winning Ways, where Paul and I are going to talk you through quite a wonderful week's racing, some very, very interesting stuff. But before we go there, we got a bit of Super Rugby to talk. How about the Sharks?
Yeah, they played well. You know, they conceded 14 points when the guys in the bin for 2 high tackles. Don't know what he was thinking. I know he's a tall lad, but he kept taking the guys out high, and boom. I wasn't mad about the refereeing decision, so I think we could have won this game, but it was a good game. Shane, we're a fair side this year.
Oh yeah, well, I think if you go back to at the beginning of Super Rugby, Sharks and the Lions, only 2 sides in the competition. That was my prediction.
Stormers are still effective.
Stormers are not. They're not worth feeding.
They're still effective. Anyway, don't you worry about them.
They're always good at home.
Yeah.
We'll see when they go on the road now.
Yeah, so the 3 of them, if you could bring in the Jaguares, they're going to be filling 2 of them. 2 of those 3 will fill the berth behind the Lions. But football, James, your boss kept his job.
Please don't talk to me about it. You know what it's shades of? It's shades of Leicester playing football when they wanted to get rid of Ranieri. That's what it is. It's shades of that.
Go through the motions.
Go through the motions.
They fought back yesterday. They fought back.
Well. You got Sanchez is probably the best. I think he's the best in his position in the world. I don't think there's anyone.
He's a very good player. Yeah.
He just runs around everyone. When he gets a ball at his feet, it's like it's tied to them.
Yeah.
So he's fantastic. But the big question I want to ask you, because you Spurs boys, I see that you puffed out the chest.
Yeah, pumped out our chests a bit. Yeah.
Does it? Can you now win the championship?
Oh, I don't know. I really don't know. You know, we must remember Chelsea play Man City this week. If Chelsea lose to Man City and we manage to win, suddenly it's 4 points. And then it's much tighter. But Liverpool played well. They're coming up. They played the extra game. Man United is still there. I think the bigger problem for people now is deciding the top 4. Spurs are looking like they're going to be in the top 4. Chelsea will definitely be in the top 4. There's 2 more berths. What do you think?
I told you before, Manchester City and Arsenal.
Okay, loyalty. Ooh.
Yeah, I've got to be loyal. Well, certainly not Man United.
Yeah, and
There's
James,
no way that.
And James, just before we talk horses, I want you to, on air, tell us. Give us 5 names of who we're going to back at the first of the majors. It starts this week, the Masters.
Simple. It's
okay, give us the 5, and I'll write them down.
Well, you've got to go. Jordan Spieth.
Yes.
Okay. Dustin Johnson.
Yeah.
Rory McIlroy.
Yeah.
I like a guy called Kupka.
Okay, we got him down.
I like him as a bit of a roughie.
And
then you've got to put in a South African. We've got to go for a South African.
Which one?
Let's go for our man Brandon Grace.
Okay, have you recorded that, Spielberg?
He'd be the top South African.
But great that the majors are starting.
Yeah, now what do you think?
I haven't a clue.
Tiger Woods, I suppose.
I haven't a clue. I haven't a clue. You know, I watch the South Africans do well, you know. I don't gamble on it because it's so hard. 144 players.
Well, it's ridiculous. And on top of that golf course can bite you, and just in a moment. But Super Sport have got an unbelievable showing this week. They start with Wednesday night. They have the par 3 competition.
That's right, yeah.
And then they start at 2:30 in the afternoon, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday.
Fantastic.
So you can get that feed without the commentary. You're obviously not going to get David Ferty. Actually, he's not there. They have their own commentators. Augusta. It's the only tournament in the world that has its own commentators. So it's like Winning Ways. Only show on this earth that has its own players. Anyway,
right. Let's find some winners.
We've cruised the players. We've organised all the sport. There's no other sport to talk about at this stage.
No.
The volleyball?
No.
Beach
Racing.
volleyball?
Racing.
Okay, racing. Let's go and have a look at 3 to follow. Right, let's go and have a look at Turfentine. And we go 1,200 metres. This was on Thursday. And the Mike de Kock stable stepped out one that we think can be pretty useful. This filly by Captain Al out of a mare called Sedera by Galileo that Mike de Kock actually trained for the Claverflate team.
That's right.
Nice bunch have got involved in this one.
Yeah, she was good. She lost a bit of gloss later in her career, but she started off like a superstar, and she's by Galileo. So they put it to Captain L and they get this horse.
Galileo. Let's go and pick it up at the start. Bernard Cantor's yellow colours and drawn one, always in the box seat, and always looked like it could win a race like this.
Yeah, it gets out rolling, you know. The pace is on with Key Hostess moving out from about draw 5 or so, going up there with Madame Secretary. But young Callum Murray gets this horse into a beautiful position in the box seat. The talk was strong. It opened at 19 to 10. It started at 6 to 5, 12 to 10. And there it is, James, beautifully placed. Ears flicking about in third.
Yeah, pace is a reasonable pace. Ferreira, Stanley Ferreira's runners in front. They've both got a bit of form, these two. The only thing that would worry me is the strength of this field, but this is a filly that looks like she could be very progressive. And, you know, good to see Deanne Nagel, Joost van Niekerk, and Paul Shanahan.
Powerful team.
In this team. It's a very powerful team. In fact, probably the best bloodstock in the world apart from the Sheikhs.
Yeah,
you know.
that's right.
So, nice to have a filly like this.
Yeah, they got wonderful bloodstock. And here just takes a stride through the quicken, but this is a Captain L and over the 1200 round the corner. And here you can see Callan's got things under control. The two form horses run good races in second and third, but this is a sparkling debut, well bred.
Absolutely. Stradum did his best on the second one to try and get there, but never really in the race with a chance. We're going to move to the next race, and we picked out the second horse, but Laf and I have discussed this, and I'm not sure that the winner is not the best horse, one of the best I've seen in Cape Town this year. Let's go and pick up O Susanna at Kenilworth. This was on Saturday. Drawn 1. The winner's drawn 3. Compare these two horses and see what you think.
Yeah, this walks out the gate. This is by Street Cry, and it walks out. The winner is 2 lengths in front of it out of trap 3. And Pierre Corneilfer says, hi-ho silver, and lets it roll. Whereas young Craig Bantam elects to sit back and drops out to last. The winner is in green, dropping out to last. But the horse we found, the Street Cry, is now pulling its way at the front on the inside. It was drawn 1. And a beautiful moving horse called O Susanna. We've asked you to follow this. But as James says, the winning filly looks very good too.
Well, what happened here is that apparently they bought this mare in foal to Street Cry. She does run a cracking good race. She's now in the middle of the track in the light colours, but you'll see the winner comes down the inside. It looked big and fat to me, this horse. No support in the betting, but what an action it's got. The winner is by Hussein out of a military band mare. She was obviously bought as a yearling to sell here. Yeah. And they put together a nice bunch, but it's between the two now.
Yeah, this outside horse is unfortunately hung right across. But this winning filly runs a very good race. And here, now the penny's starting to drop. And Pierre will look back and think, I maybe should have sat on this horse over the 6th furlong to get beat 3/4 the length. But as you say, James, both these imported horses look very good.
Absolutely. Well, we stick with the imported horses and we go to the Protea Stakes on Saturday, Grade 3. Colin Bird is a man who's supported racing for many, many years. He deserves a couple of good ones, and this certainly looks like a good one. This Son of Poet's Voice, Robbie Sage trained it.
You were involved with the purchasing of it, James.
I bought it as a weanling.
You bought it as a weanling, that's right, yeah. The Poet's Voice, I remember,
We think it's pretty useful, this horse. And he always showed, he went on the ready-to-run sale, he showed he could gallop like anything. Mike prepared him for the ready-to-run sale, Mike de Kock. Let's go and pick him up at the start of the Protea Stakes.
Yeah, runs in Colin Bird's colours. Colin's had some very good horses over the years, and this looks another useful one, this imported horse. The race is won by Barrack Street, who's now, I think, notched up 3 wins, a very fast dynasty in Chris van Niekerk's colours. And the runner-up, Laurent Duval, is also a good horse. So this horse shows good speed on the outside, James. It actually, going through the 800s, probably headed the favourite.
I think the problem is that the favourite, Anton Marcus, keeps him quite tight on the outside fence, which for a first timer is not that easy. He's got plenty of room here, but he's certainly able to pace it out with them. And he's out of a very good mare, this horse, out of a sister to Top Stallion in Australia. And he's now in position to challenge and being asked to run on by Calvin and Garbo. But here you'll see Anton just comes and keeps him a little bit tight on the outside fence, which probably costs him second place, but he can run this horse.
Yeah, Boatswain, nice name, and runs a very good race and runs behind a very decent bunch. So debuted in a Grade 3, very good run.
Yeah, certainly looks like things are coming together for those 3, and certainly have a close look at the 4 that we picked out so far. let's go and have a look at our next segment, which is Blast from the Past.
Exquisite Touch and gate 9 is ready, and they sent on their way in the fillies nursery and got away to a good start. Towards the centre of the track, Cyber Magic began very well, and along the inside, Rebels Diamond, they were the first two to respond. Exquisite Touches down the outside of the track. They followed by Open Road, Missy Barber. Then comes Pool Party, has moved up to them. Behind that, Electric Lady and Secret Vision. First is about 6 lengths off the leader with Pinot Var. Further back, and My Funny Valentine is at the back end as they approach the 600-metre marker. In front now is Pool Party's gone about 1.5 lengths clear. Exquisite Touch is down the outside. Electric Lady Fursa. Then comes Cyber Magic behind those. Rebels Diamond, My Funny Valentine. 300 metres left to go. Exquisite Touch and Fursa has come home strongly on the outside now. Fursa's gone past Exquisite Touch. My Funny Valentine runs on towards their inside. Then Pool Party. Fursa with 150 to go. My Funny Valentine. Then only Exquisite Touch, but it's Fursa going strongly here from My Funny Valentine in the fillies nursery, and Fursa's going to get there. Fursa wins it. From in second, My Funny Valentine. Arissa flew up for third, and Exquisite Touch.
Well, she won a cracking good race, this filly, and I saw her in Dubai and chatted to Mike about her. She's apparently going to stud in Australia now.
Okay, I think she's by hard spun.
She's beautifully bred.
Yeah, beautifully bred, and she won a very good race. I wondered what happened to her. So Mark sent her over there as you would do, you know.
I don't think she did well in Dubai because she didn't acclimatise well. She didn't get there in time to do well. And unfortunately, they've decided to send her to stud, which is a shame because I think that she'd be the type of filly that would win something like the Cape Verde next year. She's a very, very nice filly. Beautiful big filly. It was a pleasure to see her there in Dubai, but she's just letting down and getting ready to go to Australia to stud.
Yeah, great to
so, you know, these horses get here and they move overseas and move around. First, interesting to see what she produces. We're going to have a look at the Plum of the Week. This was a good one, and I think a relief to the man concerned.
They're scrimmaging towards the inside as they come down with about 300 metres to go. And the leader, Call Me Winter, Elusive Enchantment, Joe's Bond is running on. Vision to Kill between the two of them. She's a Fortress, Stratkins in trouble. Coming to the last 100 metres now. And it's Joe's Bond there. Takes it up and on the inside, Elusive Enchantment. Elusive Enchantment and Joe's Bond. On the outside, Cosmic Burst, but Joe's Bond's going on. And Joe's Bond has won it. Second, Elusive Enchantment, Maybe Our Destiny. Third, Cosmic Burst. Fourth.
Well, at best, you could have got 5-1 on Interbet about this filly. She beat Carry On Alice 2 runs ago.
Very good filly. She showed it. She's come into town with Justin, and I like this filly a lot. She's very good.
Good sprinting filly, top sprinting filly.
Carry level weights with the runner-up. Two good fillies.
Yeah, and you know, she's one of those fillies that you'd think that she'd win another one over the season in this type of company. She must be
going for the filly sprint.
Why you got the price was because Justin had 2 runners on Friday night. I don't think they ran particularly well. He told me on Saturday morning they needed the grass and they needed to gallop and that. So people thought maybe his horses weren't right, but he's got a powerful bunch of horses. I looked at them. My poor horses walked between their back legs on Friday just to get to the track. But anyway, that's what we got to do. So good winner for Justin and the team. Jacques Charles, I think he's got a share in it. There's some good people that they got involved in this one. Well done to the Captain Alphilly, Joe's Bond, and certainly to you boys on Interbet. You got the cash.
Yes! If you love soccer and you play the tote, you won't believe what Interbet has to offer you. It's simple. Choose your teams and your bets, work out what your combinations will cost, see how big the pool is, and place your bets. Links on your progress. It's all the fun of the tote on your sign out at www.interbet.com. Could be a winner.
Welcome to Current Affairs, and a lot of racing around the province. We had a grade 3 here at up to the big day up in Gauteng, and James Grr racing. Before we even go through these races, take your hats off to his ability to go out and buy Shawies for 120. He's just got a fantastic eye, and he's a great trainer.
It's incredible. He just everything he steps on is there to win and can win. And Kamala. And what is interesting about the whole thing is that he won the big race on the Friday night, on Saturday, and I think that 7 and 8 were the ones that he really would have liked to have won. But
Michael's been working in Dubai and preparing horses to go on to Hong Kong and things like that. Young Matthews had to take the reins, and he's pulled off 2 magnificent Group 1s. He had 4 winners the other day. Matthews did a great job in his father's absence.
Well, chatting to Mike about it, and Mike is absolutely convinced that Matthew is the real deal. And I think that certainly Saturday shows that he's the real deal.
Yeah.
And Michael says that he's actually probably holding Matthew back a little bit because Matthew's got lots of ideas and things in that. And it makes sense, But
ideas are working.
But it certainly works, and to win the 2 big ones just shows that he's doing it all right. And good luck to him. He's a very affable and
fun
young man. Yeah.
Good
Credit
luck,
to his parents. We were credit to our parents.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
We're not anymore.
Yeah.
But let's go and have a look at the King's Cup, Grade 3, 1,600 meters, and then we'll chat about it.
It's racing about 10 or 11 lengths off the leader. Sylvester the Cat, just the leader. Pull Emblems raced up into second. Captain Aldo's at the rail, back in that 3rd position. They're followed further back by Royal Armour, Bulleting Home, Secret Warning. Double Clutches near the rail. Arctica's on the outside, got about 7 lengths to track down. Then Budapest and 50 Cents. And at the back of the field we find Last Tiger and Ashton Park. Homeward bound in the King's Cup. Pearl Emblem, Sylvester the Cat, Captain Aldo's at the rail. On the outside, Royal Armour, Bulleting Home. Towards the outside of that, Secret Warning and Double Clutch. Coming down to the 300 now. And towards the inside, Bulleting Home. Secret Warning down the inside. Captain Aldo's in trouble. Arctica tries to run on, but Bulleting Home's going. And it's Bulleting Home, not for the catching. Bulleting Home has won it. Royal Armour 2nd. Secret Warning 3rd, maybe 4th to Arctica and Captain Aldo.
Well, Bulletin Home started it all for Sean Terry. What a wonderful weekend. And Mike and Norma Rattray, nice to see them back in the stakes races. And this one, very comfortably, James.
Western Winter. Yeah. He's a top horse. He's rated 100, merit rated 100. He'd probably go to 105 or 106 for that. And he might be a concern in something like the Drillall Stakes or those type of mile races.
Yeah,
maybe
he's a good horse.
Gold Challenge.
Yeah.
Very nice horse
Just
indeed.
shows the strength of Sean Terry's yard.
Yeah. Well, then let's go and have a look at the next one, which is the Pretty Polly Stakes. And that was for the fillies. And very competitive bunch stepped out here. Let's go and see what happened. Unfortunately, there was a scratching of the top weight.
Celestina. Desert Rhythm gives them 3 lengths start with Outlander and Star Profile as a compact field of Polly Stakes heads down into the last 500 meters. Spring Breeze is tackled now by Green Plains. Celestina is running on the outside. Outlander also makes headway. Desert Rhythm's got a length to go and Star Profile 200 out, and Green Plains set sail for home here by 2 lengths. Celestina and Desert Rhythm are back in 2nd and 3rd, and then Star Profile, but it's Green Plains to give Chris Van Terry and Kamala a 3rd winner. 2nd to Celestina, Star Profile 3rd, Desert Rhythm.
Well, a comfortable win in the Pretty Polly, and keeping the give me the green this thing. Give me the green thing.
Give me the green light.
Yeah, keeping them high up in the ratings. Your next onslaught of Give Me the Green Lights are coming, and good for Gary Player too.
Yeah, Gary Player and out of a Jetmaster mare.
Yeah.
So, it's got pedigree, proper pedigree, and won well. But was sad that Kissable wasn't there. I wanted to see that filly run again because apparently there was a problem last time. But this filly put them to bed, and the big guys controlled it. Well, we go to, which is a grade 3. We've seen this already in 3 to follow. But let's go and talk about Barrack Street. Unfortunately, Alfo didn't come here to the races, and that made a big difference too. You wanted to see him take on Barrack Street.
Laurent Duvar a length away in third. 2 lengths back to Quinlan and Whirly Whirly, and Silver Guard races at the back end. It's got 5 lengths to make up. They come down with about 550 metres to go. Barrack Street in front, only narrowly though. Bosun's on the outside, racing right up there. Then Laurent Duvar and Quinlan. Whirly Whirly's got 4 lengths to make up, and Silver God switched to the centre of the track. They race them down with 250 to go. Barrack Street in front of Bosun. Laurent Duvar is 2 lengths away. Then comes Quinlan, but it's Barrack Street hard up on the outside with 100 to go. And Barrack Street goes strongly to give Sean Terry yet another winner. Beats home into second, Laurent Duvar. Bosun are cracking.
James, this is a very fast horse. By Dynasty out of an El Mufti mare, but incredible speed.
Very fast horse indeed, and certainly had this field at its top the whole way. He's won 3 out of 4 now, and won 2 little stakes races. This, I suppose you wouldn't call it a big stakes race, but he's thrown his name in the hat as far as the season's concerned if he comes down here for
Gold medallion.
Gold medallion, yeah. And I think that's it. That really sums up the race. He had them cold. He looked like the best horse in the race, and it was sad that the Cox horse didn't take its place. We then move on, obviously, to the next race, which is Man of War Sprint. And this had lots of interest in it for a number of reasons. Mainly, Red Chestnut Road was stepping out top weight. He looked like he had a hard task in a race like this, had to give weight all round.
Yeah, he looks a very good horse. He ran a good race. 3 fillies beat him, if I'm not mistaken. And he runs a good race. But again, it's Sean Terry to the fore with the young Bling Kamalo. And Exquisite Touch, who we had seen earlier, is a good filly.
Let's go and see Exquisite Touch winning the Man of War Stakes.
Pillar of Hercules. Racing down towards the 600-metre marker, it's Clever Guy. Clean set of heels at the moment leads. Ross Miles moved up into second. Green Pepper trying to get moving on the stand side with Ozzy Austin. Then comes Exquisite Touch, Red Chestnut Road as they enter the final 300 metres. On the stand side, Exquisite Touch bursts through and hits the lead here. Ross Miles, Green Pepper's now starting to move up, but it's Exquisite Touch who's cleared away in the Man of War Sprint, and yet another winner here for Sean Terry. It's 5. The big 5. Exquisite Touch beats Green Pepper. Third favours Pride, Red Chestnut Road. Then came further back Ross.
Well, certainly put that field to bed. Whoa, this looks useful too.
Yeah, Var filly out of an Eliodor mare. And the breeders, small breeders, but they love the breeding, and that's Waterford, you know.
Yeah, well done to them.
Yeah. Chris Van Niekerk, and so now we've seen the first 5 races. Now, can you imagine being Sean Terry here? You've won the first 5 races on the card. You now got your big horse, the champion, coming back, going to try and put his name right in lights again. And you think to yourself, you've got to be thinking to yourself, it can't carry on this.
Carry on, yeah.
Where's it going to? What's going to happen?
Yeah, gee, well, let's go and have a look at
across your mind.
He's the king, this horse?
He's the king, and he certainly proved it. Let's go and see him from the start. Legal Eagle, the best miler in South Africa by a long way.
And where they go. Mac Delago was slow into stride, losing 3 to 4 lengths. Legal Eagle has got right over to lead early. So Legal Eagle goes from the widest draw to lead from New Predator. Farik races up there too. Fort Embers on their outside. Rafif only 3 lengths off the leader. Then comes Romney Prince. They followed by Kangaroo Jack. French Navy races 6 to 7 lengths off them. And Mac Delago is the trailer after that slow start. 1,100 metres left to go, and it's Legal Eagle by 1 length from Farik in second. Fort Ember, she's run up into third, and on the inside of those New Predator. Then comes Rafif giving Legal Eagle about 4 lengths start, 2 lengths away to Romany Prince. In behind that one is Kangaroo Jack, gives the leader 6 lengths start, French Navy second to last, and Macdalago is the trailer as they turn for home. In the Horse Chestnut Stakes, 700 metres to go, and Legal Eagle out there by 2 lengths. New Predator racing away in second, Fortember is on the outside. Then comes Rafif in behind those, followed by Romany Prince. 420 to go, and Legal Eagle goes strongly by 2 lengths. New Predator, Rafif comes out after them, and then Romany Prince, but with 280 to go, it's still Legal Eagle clear. French Navy's running on with New Predator, but Legal Eagle is in a class of his own. Legal Eagle, his 6th Group 1 win, 6 winners for Sean Terry, and Legal Eagle has landed safely by 2. French Navy second, third placing New Predator, then Rafif fourth.
Well, the king is back. Long live the king. As you say, the best miler in the country, James. And he beat a good field comfortably. The old, the prince, if he's the king, the prince ran second.
Well, he's always there, isn't he? He's been a fantastic servant, this horse. He's won 4.5 million, the second horse, French Navy. Okay.
Count Dubois.
Yeah, he's a Count Dubois, and he was bred by the Armitages. Legal Eagle, bred by Aventure. Yeah. And we've spoken about him before.
Really good one, yeah.
And the way it's put together. And he just is a superstar. He just gallops him into the ground. He just keeps on rolling. And, you know, he went to Cape Town, 1, 2 and ran second. You know, what else can you do? And then came up here, gets ready for this one, wins again, you know.
Okay.
Second horse, third horse, New Predator. He's a very nice horse, and he'll probably make it at stud. He's got a very good pedigree. He might easily be a stallion. The rest, unfortunately, a couple went wrong, but we're going to take a break now, and we'll be back with the second part of Current Affairs. Right, let's move on, and we go from the Horse Chestnut to the SA Fillies Classic. Well, here, Sean Terry had the hot favourite again, and I really think that Anthony Del Peche was at his very best on this horse to win.
Yeah, Sean Terry had a strong hand. You know, Safe Harbour had probably tightened up in the Guineas and ran another great race. This is a tough filly, and it denied getting 7 by Orchid Island.
Yeah.
Good, the Silvana, homebred Silvana is very talented.
We picked this filly up as one to follow.
That's
I
right.
thought this was her race. She looked like she needed to go this trip. She won after we picked her up. And Anthony Del Peche from draw 13. Have a look at this, right? This is top draw.
It was
stuff.
a good finish, James. A lot of fillies just putting their
very
heads in there.
good finish.
Yeah.
The disappointment is obviously Smiling Blue Eyes, who looked like having won a 3 in a row and won the first leg. Looked like she might be able to win this as well, but
Something
she never
will
in
come
the
out
race.
wash.
Something went wrong.
Yeah, she's much better than
She
that.
might have been too handy. She seems to run from off them.
No, wasn't it? Was this one Danielson? It wasn't too handy, James. I just thought it wasn't much horse there.
Yeah.
But let's have a look.
And they're racing to a good start for them. Babbling Brook broke the line first. Maleficent, My Friendly is wider out. El Hora shows pace in the early part. Bipod is only 3 lengths off the leader. Filet races behind that, Being Fabulous. Here's Smiling Blue Eyes. 6 to 7 lengths off the leader. Safe Harbour is on her outside. Then comes Orchid Island and Oriental Oak, followed by Belrose second to last, and Captain Gambler is the trailer. There's about 9 lengths covering them as they race now with 1,300 metres to go in their SA Fillies Classic. Maleficent has picked up the advantage now and will go clear to lead it by about 1.5 lengths to 2 from My Friendly in second, Babbling Brook away in third. El Hora is racing back in 4th position. That gives them about 5 lengths start. Racing just behind that one is Being Fabulous. Racing behind that is Safe Harbour. Then comes Filet along the inside. Bipod's got 6 lengths to make up. Smiling Blue Eyes got 8 lengths to find, followed in behind that by Orchid Island. Then Belrose. Second to last is Oriental Oak, and Captain Gambler will be the trailer as they round the home turn in the Fulkerbos Drift SA Fillies Classic with 700 metres to go. Maleficent leads by 2 lengths. My Friendly is in second. Then comes Babbling Brook down the inside. Filet behind that. Further back to El Hora. On the outside is Bipod, My Friendly, Safe Harbour and Orchid Island are coming home strongly. Smiling Blue Eyes has still got 5 lengths to go with 400 metres to run. Orchid Island, Bipod, They hit the front. El Hora's down the inside. Safe Harbour running on from the rear is Bell Rose. Anyone's call with 200 metres to go. It's Bipot in front. On the outside, Orchid Island. Also Safe Harbour. Oriental Oak is running on. Bell Rose on the outside. In front is Orchid Island. Orchid Island, Bipot down the inside. Orchid Island has beaten Safe Harbour. Bipot, Oriental Oak, Bell Rose and El Hora. The first.
Well, a great finish to a great race, and well done to Mary and Wilgebos. This is a homebred, I believe.
Yeah,
Bustle.
absolutely. It's out of Ella Grande.
Yeah, that's right, of course.
Ella de Vittoria's
very
daughter.
tight finish. A lot of horses involved in that scrum there, and I thought, wow, what a great finish, James.
Yeah, just going back to the favourite, she actually had every chance as filly. She was given a chance in the race. I thought she was a bit handier, but now watching the replay, she was given every chance, and maybe second run got it because she just ran a completely flat
I
race.
liked the run of Oriental Oak, where that came from.
It was a fantastic
run. Yeah. So they're well done. The fillies are it's very competitive amongst the fillies, and Safe Harbour has danced a few dances, came back, and nearly made it 7 for Terry. But let's move on, James.
Yeah, this to me was the bet of the day. The classic Heavenly Blue. I think he'd been looking for this trip. The vibes were good. The talk was good out the stable. Callum Murray had a couple of pacemakers in the race which did their job properly, and this one a very, very good race. And he's a son of Schnitzel, and he's owned by some good people in the business. So it was nice to see him go out and win it, and he's out of an El Prado mare, so he's got some pedigree, this horse too, and I think he's going to be maybe a very live contender for the Met next year if he stays, or for the July this year if he stays. But unfortunately, they've got to leave in June, so who knows what's going to happen with Heavenly Blue. But let's go and pick him up at the start.
Classic Field are sent on their way. Got them away to a good start. Crowd Pleaser began well. Aladel is up on the outside. Janubi's also in a handy spot early on. Unagi's on the rail. El Sahem is back in 5th, 4 lengths off the leader. A length behind that is Furiosa, then Kampala Campari. Heavenly Blue and Tilbury 4 to the 2 back markers. They give them about 8 lengths start now as Aladel sets a cracking gallop up front now with 1,300 to go and has gone 2 lengths clear. Janubi racing back in 2nd. Crowd Pleases away in 3rd. Then there's a gap of 4 lengths back to Unagi, who races in 4th position. El Sahem is back in 5th. Further back to Furiosa. That's got about 8 or 9 lengths to make up. Kampala Campari behind that. Heavenly Blue's got 10 to find here. And Tilbury Fort's about a dozen lengths off the leader with 1,000 metres left to go. Aladel been asked to set a cracking gallop and is doing so by 2 lengths. Janubi and Crowd Pleaser race away in 2nd. Back in 4th position is Unagi. Then comes El Sahem with 6 or 7 to find Furiosa. Kampala Campari, Heavenly Blues, 8 lengths off the leader, and Tilbury Fort, the trailer, homeward bound in the 2nd leg of the South African Triple Crown, 600 to go. Aladel in front, Janubi. Unagi moves up down the inside. Heavenly Blues travelling well right on the left. El Sahem is also coming forward strongly, then Furiosa. 400 metres to go. Unagi's in front. Heavenly Blue becomes the danger. El Sahem runs on strongly. Furiosa's on their outside. It's down the inside. Heavenly Blue strikes the front in the classic. Unagi, then El Sahem and Furiosa, but with 150 to go, it's Heavenly Blue who's 2 to 3 lengths clear of El Sahem, and it's going to provide Mike de Kock with a classic double at Turpentine. Heavenly Blue has won the SA Classic 3 lengths. El Sahem, Furiosa, then came a cracking run in.
Well, there we go. Well done again to Matthew de Kock, deputising for his father. This is a beautiful horse. They paid a couple of pounds for him, but you buy a champion stallion. He looks like a horse. I think you're right, James. This could be going to be seen trotting around Dubai.
That's probably the plan. But we haven't got any updates. Mike's in Australia at the moment for the sales, and basically got to have a big chance of winning whatever he wants to win here over a bit of ground, especially with the pace. He obviously needed to
have a
decent gallop, you know, and I think that's where he came unstuck the last twice he's run, because he'd been running on strongly but never really getting to them. But the 1,800 metres with a pace, perfectly planned. Well done to Matthew, and congratulations
James, the
to
front
team.
4 were well clear of the 5th horse. It was like 2 groups.
Well, they looked like the 4 in the race, and unfortunately, a couple went wrong in the race, which is sad news. But anyway, we're going to move on and have a look at the Caradoc Gold Cup now. My first impression, and this is what really worried me.
I thought you don't do impressions, James. If you started doing impressions
but it's
again.
my first one.
Okay, that's fair enough.
My first one.
Okay.
My first impression ever.
Yes.
Okay.
I'm pleased you did impressions
So the
again.
impression is that Clyde Basil, should I do, I do impression of Clyde? Okay.
Yeah, do impressions. Different to anybody, but you're very good at impressions. You should never have stopped.
Okay. Well, I'm not going to. But the point is that my first impression is, as far as these staying races are concerned, is that we have a very big problem in this country. And I don't think that our programs cater for stayers. We don't have a chance of putting stayers through. There are not enough races for young horses, and I'm talking about 4-year-olds that are lower merit-rated horses.
Slow
to get through the
maturers,
stayers
that type of
rank.
thing.
They take time, these horses.
Yeah.
They get to 4, that's when they start
I'm inclined to
coming
agree
around.
with you. You know who puts on staying races is Port Elizabeth.
Port Elizabeth.
And they come up and win the Gold Cup.
Absolutely. They've got the best stayers in South Africa because their program is attuned to horses to be able to go. You want to give those horses a chance to develop their lungs and their hearts and their muscle structure to be able to go that type of distance. And well, I don't think there's a race over 3-2 in KwaZulu-Natal except the 2 big runs. And the one's now been downgraded to a Group 3, which is very sad indeed. And it's indicative of what we're doing here. And I really mean that
We've got to have more build-up races.
Yeah, you as a man in charge here should certainly sort this thing out immediately.
Okay,
But let's
on
go and
your
have a look
words.
at the Caradoc Gold Cup from the 600.
9 lengths to make up with Super Tube as they round the home turn here in the Caradoc Gold Cup and head down to the 600-metre mark. And Let It Rain is hard pressed but goes clear by 5 or 6 here. Royal Honours back in second. Fortune Fella Save the Rhino. They're all trying to grab Let It Rain. Zafira's making a forward move up the outside of the track, and then comes Fricky. 350 to go. Let It Rain by 4 lengths. Save the Rhino comes home powerfully. Then Zafira behind that is Fricky, and Elite has made its way through from the back end. Let It Rain by 2. Save the Rhino. Elite comes alive on the stand side, and Elite picks up the strongest of all. Elite comes home at Let It Rain in the Caradoc Gold Cup. It's Elite that hits the front, and Elite gives Trainer Van Heerden a big win. Second placing will go to Let It Rain. Save the Rhinos.
Well, a big win for Jürgen Van Heerden and young Ryan Munger. So Australian horse really has got no stamina doubts, eh?
Yeah, it's very interesting because Mike had this horse, okay, and they sold him here on the super sale. They paid a bit of money for this horse, these guys, and he's done very well. I'm very pleased for Jürgen van Heerden. He's a very nice man, deep thinker. He lived next door to me in Reinkiesfontein, and he's a very, very good guy. Loves his horses, works very hard at it, and 20 years has taken him to win a group race. So
Well done.
good
Well
luck
done.
to him. He trains for a few of my mates
James,
up there.
it's perseverance. You know what they say, James?
Yeah.
That don't rush. Wait, things will come out, because when you're unlocking a key, and you've got a whole bunch of keys, sometimes it's the last key that unlocks the lock.
Well, Elici turned out to be one of the last keys for Jürgen, and Ryan Munger gave it a cracking good ride. It just stays like an unwanted niece. But here's a horse that I'm talking about. This horse in KwaZulu-Natal had absolutely no chance. He couldn't win a race here. And he looked like he was bad. He never had a chance to get into himself. He's now a 6-year-old. He's by Fastnet Rock. He's out of a Saddler's Wells mare. There's the pedigree.
Pedigree,
You know,
stout.
2 miles at the end, he was just running on at them. But this is where we are sorely lacking. And people love watching staying races. They unfold like a nice novel, you know.
Yeah.
The sprint races don't unfold. Staying races unfold, you know.
It's like Test cricket as opposed to 2020.
You've got to look after, and we produce a lot of stayers. We bring in a lot of horses here that are bred for a trip. Now, you've got horses like Duke of Marmalade in this country. These type of horses are producing international stayers abroad, but we haven't got a program to support.
No, you're right.
And I've done my impression.
Okay,
What did you think?
No, I just want to say before we close the segment, it's good to see Randolph back. Is it a hip hop?
Hip hop operation.
Hip hop.
Yeah.
And you know he was always walking.
I'm not worried
delicately.
about Stu Randolph.
You
know.
That's true.
He's got a second career. Most
and
guys.
Danielle Brown, she's now got a
Danielle.
women's wife. She's
Danielle
now,
McCready.
Yeah, Danielle
Remember
Brown
her as a rider.
She's got
I
a
told
knot.
her. I
knot
said to
goggles
her,
and,
like,
what do they call
bring your husband to Durban, Greyville night race meetings. That's what she
Yeah,
should be
she can
doing.
do it now. Her Stewie.
Yeah. Well, just talking about a few things at her. Went from Dubai. Do you know where he rode over the weekend?
China.
There was something called Sheng Dubai national race meeting where they've been doing it a couple of years.
Dubai
and,
said-
actually support this whole thing. And they sent 10 jockeys who've been riding in Dubai against 5 Chinese jockeys who've been learning in Dubai. They've been with Barry in Dubai. And they have an international jockeys meeting. And Bernie went to South Africa. It was nice to see that he went over there. He's been before. And he rode in the big meeting. We haven't had the results yet. I would try to go onto ER8 this morning to find out the results, but they weren't up. So we will get them and we'll let you know what happened. The other jockey that's in deep, deep trouble is William Buick. He's got an 8-day ban, which means he misses the Craven meeting, which is at Newmarket. As you know, it's a very big meeting.
Yes.
And he misses it because he rode a horse at Chelmsford. This is very interesting. He didn't stop riding the horse. It was hot favourite, and it ran 4th out of 5, but he just put his hands down and let it roll to the finish because he said that the horse was hanging very badly, and so he didn't persevere. But the rules in England say, and I think that we might have the same rules because everyone tells us we race the same as them. If a horse feels a miss, you pull it up, okay?
Right.
Pull it up
Yeah,
so it doesn't hurt the horse.
Yeah, that's the norm.
If the horse doesn't feel a miss, but you find it hard to ride, you ride it out hands and heels to the finish.
Okay.
And he did neither. He didn't pull the horse up, and he didn't ride the horse out hands and
just
heels.
sat on it.
They gave him 8 days. You know what 8 days is in England? That's 8 racing days. For a guy like William Buick, he rides for the Sheikh.
It's a lot of money.
It is quite a big ban. He's got obviously the chance of appealing, but that's the story. Okay, we're going to see Sheldon Russell. Just give us a little bit of
very
news on
interesting
Sheldon Russell.
interview I did with him. He's a young man who's riding in America. He's born in America, and his father's Dean Russell, who went through the academy here.
Yeah.
Dean's now working with Theo in Singapore.
Theo Kaiser.
And he's ridden over 1,000 winners. Very interesting.
kid.
Yeah, very interesting.
Dean
Watch.
Russell.
Yeah, no, Sheldon.
Oh, Sheldon Russell.
Watch Sheldon. Very interesting.
Yeah. Okay, well, we've got Sheldon Russell coming up in your call. We hope you've enjoyed our share of it, and Left done this fantastic interview, so don't miss it.
Hi, and welcome to this week's edition of Your Call. Interesting, we've got young Sheldon Russell who's come out to join us. Now, you guys might remember him because his father, Dean Russell, who rode out here many years ago. And Dean was married to one of my great footballing mates, Craig Banfield's sister. And Alison and Dean have produced this child who's a jockey as well. And it's great to have him with us. Sheldon, thanks very much for coming in.
Oh, thanks for having me on the show.
Lovely. Now, it's an interesting tale, yours. You know, let's start right at the beginning. You were born in Louisiana.
Yes. Born in a small town, Bourgeois City. So my dad had tried to ride in America, and my mom had just fallen pregnant, so that's sort of how it worked out.
So it worked out for a reason because you now have got a green card.
Yes.
You're born in America, you've got complete access. And then your parents came back to South Africa while you were still an infant. And then they decided to move over to the UK, as a lot of families have done. And your early education is all British. You can hear it in your accent to a degree.
Yeah, a lot of people say that. So I spent a lot of my time growing up and in England. You know, I went to high school. So they're the good days. You know, they're the days I remember is growing up in England.
Now, your mum and dad always loved racing, especially your father, who's been involved in it all the time. They must have seen that there's always a chance, because of your size, you're going to be a jockey. When did they Or when did one of the parents say to you, listen, I think you should become a jockey?
I'd say like around the age of like 13 years old, my mom had put us into Pony Club in a small little place in East London. Me and my two sisters, we all started on the same course, and it was just, I don't know if they just weren't as interested, but I just kept going up the ranks. And I just remember, going to visit my dad up in Newmarket on the weekends.
Yeah, he was obviously a racing man, and that's headquarters, Newmarket. And then they decided, right, we've got to take a step now. You're getting your education out the way. And they all arranged you to go to the British, what's it called, British Riding School or something?
Yeah, British Racing School. So it was very important to finish high school in East London. And as soon as I had finished high school, it was always, it was always in my head to go live with my dad and to get involved in the horses.
Yeah, so that you went up there. Funny enough, Craig Benton, my brother-in-law, he ran that school for years. I went out and said, it's a wonderful setup.
Yeah, it's a great school, honestly. And looking back, without going to the school, I don't think I would be here right now. We had a great jockey coach back then, Richard Perham, who is still very involved in the British Racing School. And any kids that are looking to get involved in horses or horse racing, it's definitely a school.
Pretty much like our academy. You can go there having never ridden a horse, and they will teach you.
Correct. A lot of the kids on my course, they weren't all there to be jockeys. Some of them wanted to be trainers, exercise riders, and just be involved in horses, and they teach you everything there.
And then you got involved with Willie Musson.
So Willie Musson, yeah. At the time, I was just a stable lad. I was cleaning the stalls and taking care of maybe 3 horses in the afternoons. Yeah.
It's a good education. It's a good grounding.
It is, yeah. It is. Waking up in the mornings, taking care of horses. It's not just all about riding, you need to learn to take care of them as well.
Okay, and then along came Chris Dwyer. Now, Chris Dwyer had 25 horses, and was he in Newmarket as well?
He was in Newmarket. Newmarket's a very small little village, packed of trainers. I'd left Willie Musson's to go to Chris Dwyer's, and it was Chris Dwyer that had sent me on the apprentice course, and I think,
So he sent you back?
He had sent me back, yes.
He said, go back there and do an apprentice course because you've got all the attributes of being a rider. And that's not a long course, but it must be an intense course.
Yeah, so, before you go to that jockey course, you need to make sure that, you're able to do it. You don't want to go there and fail and have to go do that course again. So Chris, looking back, Chris put a lot of foundation into me. He took me to the gates and done a lot of work riding with him. So he had put a lot of work into me before going to the course.
So then you came back, you started working with Chris, and things were going along nicely, and he set you up with your first winner.
Yeah, he didn't really put me on my first winner, but it was an apprentice race, and it was for apprentices that hadn't won a race yet. So he had made a few calls. I didn't have an agent at the time, and he had just got me on a ready live horse that day. So without Chris's help, maybe I wouldn't have won that race.
And let's talk about your first winner. Was it Rare Connection?
Rare Coincidence was his name.
Sorry, Rare Coincidence.
And
can you remember the race?
I do, yeah. It was a 1.5 miles on the Catterick course, and I remember the horse being favourite. So I remember being very nervous. I remember my mum took the day off work, and she had trekked up there to watch. I remember my sisters were at home watching on TV. So yeah, it was a big day, even still.
Yeah, they say you never forget your first winner.
No.
It's very, very special. And then the bug had bitten. Huh?
Yes.
And you thought, well, I've done really. And then as things unfold, Chris Dwyer decides to give up training and pursue breeding and other interests. Where does that leave you?
So he had just, he'd taken a step back for training for a while. The horses had slowed down coming in. We didn't really have a whole lot of horses that were running, so he had just taken a break. And I remember Michael Dickinson had an advert in our Racing Post, and I just remember asking, well, he had mentioned something. I had just got my mom back there to give him a call, and he was very keen on me coming over.
He was in America. Mm-hmm. Now he's got a wonderful history in the sport, especially as a jump trainer before he went to Manton and places like that. And nice guy.
Oh, he's a great guy. And, back then, he played the father figure role in my life. I was very young. I think I was 18 years old when I came to America. He set us up with the house, a car. He was very good to us.
Yeah, and so he's a good lad. So you started working with him, and as luck would have it, he said he would give you your first 5 winners. Is that right? That's what he
Correct.
would, and he came through.
Yeah, he kept his word, all the things he had always said to me, come back and try and ride in America. And it was easy, it was never, I never really had to think about it, just because I just didn't have a job in England at the time.
Yeah.
So I just went home, I said my goodbyes to my family, and
You said America's for me,
Yes.
and you're going to go back there and try with Michael. You went back because having the green card is such a big plus. You can come up there for a trial with Dickinson, but you can get back anytime you like. So you went back to him, and he gave you, what was it like going from British racing, these undulating courses like the Catterick 2-4, compared to some of these tight little bull rings that you had to ride on?
It was, everyone asked me, was it hard to make the transition? And it was, we in England, we don't race on a dirt surface, so you're not really getting a whole lot of kickback.
Yeah.
A lot of the tracks in America are very flat. It's, a lot goes into
Speed racing?
breaking out of the gate and getting into position. So it did, it took me 2 years to make that change. I learned a lot on the farm. Michael had sent me all over to all different racetracks to get horses' gate carts coming out of the gates, or the barriers, as you guys call it.
Yeah. So it was a tough time in a way that, people don't welcome strangers into town because they're all fighting for the dollar. How did you find the other riders? Were they all right, or were they a bit against you?
Yeah,
or?
no, they were all okay, and I got to meet some of them. Some of them would come into the farm and come work horses for Michael, and everyone was really nice. Everyone was very friendly and willing to help me. And still now, we can make jokes. I remember when this guy came to the farm, and when I was 18, so it's nice. It's nice to have friends in the jocks room.
Yeah. Now, as luck would unfold, another trainer decides to give up training. Dickinson decides to go and do synthetic tracks, which he's become renowned for. Where did that leave you?
So again, I don't know if it's me, but then again, I'm left with no job. Both the trainers I'd worked for in my career had both retired, so I was left with no job. But Michael had he had given me my first 5 rides, I think. So out of them first 5, I had 2 seconds, and there was an agent that came by the farm. She already had one of the top riders on the East Coast.
You got a female agent?
I did, my first agent.
Good-looking boy went for a woman, eh?
Yeah, an older woman, yes.
And was she a good agent?
She was great. And like I said, she had a really good other jockey. And how it works in America, you're allowed to have 2 sort of professional jockeys, and you're allowed to have 1 apprentice. So,
as an agent?
Yes.
So you were the apprentice that she took on board. Now, it's called losing your bug. We'd have it in this country. You get your claim. You can 4 kilo, 2.5 kilo, 1.5 kilo. You get your X amount of pounds off. They call it the bug, don't they?
Correct.
And how does it work there?
So how it works is you can have as many races as you want, but as soon as you ride your 5th winner, that's when your apprenticeship or your bug starts. And then since you ride as soon as you start you ride your 5th winner, that's when you have a whole year to ride with the claim.
Okay, so after that year, regardless of the amount of winners, the bug stops.
Correct.
Okay, and now you found yourself where in Virginia?
So I started off in Virginia, which is like a 6-week course. And then after Virginia, I moved to a track in Laurel Park.
They go meets, as they call them, abbreviated for meeting. They go have a meet here and a meet there. And I know when I worked in America, you'd have Santa Anita, Hollywood Park, and Delmar. And people would ship into town. And is it the same on the coast where you were?
Yeah. So we, back then we had 3 tracks, and it would be Laurel Park, Pimlico, and the horses or the jockeys. We would either go to Delaware Park or Colonial Downs.
Okay.
And it's still to this day, there's options. There's like 3 or 4 tracks throughout the year.
Okay, so now you're getting yourself rolling. You've got a woman agent who's getting you a few leg ups, and you started riding winners. It started coming at quite a good rate initially.
Yeah, I mean, America is very good for the apprenticeship. The trainers and the owners, they like to take the weight off the horses.
Yeah.
There's a lot of opportunities. There's a lot of racetracks, and there's a lot of races throughout the day. So you see it now. A lot of the apprentices, if they show a little bit of talent in the morning, they'll get the opportunities.
Now, I've seen it in this country. A lot of our top riders have been invited to ride overseas, and they've ridden. You look at our list of top jockeys here. They've all had some stint overseas, and it seems to do you the world of good when you get to see how other people do it. Is that the case with America?
Yeah. Like I said, I hadn't really got going in England. I was just very fresh with my apprenticeship, and looking back now, the 2 years I spent on Michael Dickinson's farm really helped me mature and become, I feel, a better rider.
Okay, and now let's carry on with your career. So now you're out on the circuits and it starts going well. Have you still got this woman agent?
I do not, no. She's another one that retired, yeah.
Oh, you found them, and
Yeah.
you stopped them from this game. And then you've got to get another agent. That's the norm overseas.
Yes, correct. So I've had this agent, the one I have now, Marty Leonard. I've had him for a good 7 years.
Okay, because you're a jockey.
Yes.
Okay, so he goes out and Marty says, listen, I'm going to get you a ride on this and that. You know, I know with agents in South Africa and the jockeys will say, I don't want to ride that horse, that's stone dilly. Don't pick, even though it might have form, don't give me the ride on this. And they sort of pick, do you sit with the agent and say, listen, I think we should bypass this horse or that type of thing? Is it common practice?
I don't know really the answer to that. I know me and Marty have a good relationship, so I know if Marty wouldn't like to ride the horse, he sure as hell wouldn't put me on it.
He knows the form. Is he very good?
He's very, very good.
So he knows the form. He says, listen, we've got to keep an eye on this one. We'd like to get onto this horse and that type of thing. Because when I was in America and I worked there, those top jockeys had really good agents and they were fighting to get them the best chance. But now, let's look at your career. 9 years you've been riding out there.
Correct, yeah.
You're 29 now. So you're still a young man. You've had 1,100 winners. That's amazing. Is that because you ride every day and you get out and you get on horses, and is it just chase the buck?
Yeah, I mean, there's definitely a lot of opportunities. You know, 9 races a day. There's some days where you could ride 9 races a day, and then you could jump in your car and drive an hour and a half and do a night meet. So
you've got opportunities.
There's definitely opportunities. Yeah.
Do you get a riding fee plus a percentage of the purse? Is that how it works, like they do here?
Correct. So most racetracks in America would give you $100 amount for a losing jock fee, and then you get 10% of the winner's purse.
That's excellent. So if it goes well, you can do well. Now, everything's hunky-dory apart from your injuries. Now, I just want to talk to you about that, because I know you've had a lot of injuries. Unlucky?
Yeah, I just think, it comes with the job. If I look at myself to some of my friends, yeah, you could say I'm being a bit unlucky with the injuries.
Okay, so you've broken 28 bones in 9 years. Is there a message in there?
A lot of people say, for myself, I feel like I've taken the time off in between injuries where I've made myself hungry and it's made me want to come back. But if I ever felt like I didn't want to do it, or if I was, really hurt and I didn't feel like my body was healing, then, maybe I would pull the plug. But I feel like I can still do it. I still enjoy the horses. I'm actually here in South Africa on vacation, and I was actually at Greyville the other day. I brought the whole family. We had a great day,
A lot of fun.
Yeah, it's something I really like to do.
And what's the worst injury you've had?
I've had so many. I'd have to say the shoulder. I broke my shoulder in 2 places. I tore the labrum in the front and the back. That was the longest. I was off for 8.5 months.
Wow, that's a long time. You must get second thoughts when you're going through that. At least your hunger's there. You're a young man. You've still got years and years ahead of you. But when you're thinking, I can't even do anything properly here, it's really debilitating. And you have to go in and work with your surgeons and your doctors and that type of thing.
Yeah, correct. So 8.5 months is a long time. It's 3/4 of a year to sit on the sidelines. And even 4 months into that injury, I would say to my mom, I don't think it's going to heal. And, I'd done 36 weeks of therapy 3 times a week. I was trying everything. I was doing the cryotherapy. I was going for massages, acupuncture, you name it, heat, ice.
Cryotherapy, that's cold.
Cold, yeah. So you could get up to
Is it bearable?
Yeah, it's okay. It's not too bad. And you feel good afterwards. There's great reviews for healing process and speeding up recovery.
So when you came back after 8.5 months, how were you? Completely loose, everything was fine. You didn't think, well, I'm coming back a bit early because I'm dying to ride again, but I'm a little bit stiff. Or how was it when you came back?
Well, I had a few more grey hairs on my hair, and but just a little bit rusty the first couple rides back, and some of the trainers knew that. 8.5 months is a long time to sit on the sidelines, but I felt like I could still do it. The morning, and the trainers were very supportive at Laurel Park, and the opportunities were still coming. So. I was just happy to be back at work and get another chance.
That's fantastic. And now, as we talk, you're having a break now because you're injured.
Correct, yeah.
Now, you fell off and your whip did the damage on landing. Tell us about that.
Just one of them freak accidents. I fell off. It was a turf race, and I must have just landed, and I still had the whip in my hand. And what I've done, I've just sort of knocked the right thumb out of place, and I've torn the RCL ligament in my thumb. And, you know, like everyone else would just think, oh, it's just your thumb, it would heal. And, you know, I'm coming up to 6 months and it's, you know,
6 months?
It's only 80%, yeah.
Wow, you've ridden a lot of winners in a short period of time, and you've had a lot of time off, eh? And now, how's everything going? Are you back? Can you shuffle the cards?
Yeah, I'm shuffling the cards, and I'm able to spin the whip. And you know, 2 weeks before I came on vacation, I was working horses at Laurel Park. There was a couple of family things I needed to come over here. I wanted to see my family. I had a wedding to attend, and it's my grand's 85th birthday coming up. So, you know, things like that are important to me. So
that's fantastic that you've been able to come back, because you haven't gone back to the UK. America's home. You say, are you married?
I am not married, no.
No, too many injuries.
Too many injuries.
Too many injuries. But now you have to get cleared before you can ride again. Is that the rule? So you go back to your surgeon or your specialist, and he says, we're all good to go. How long before you ride?
Correct. So I'll go back to the doctor April 17th, and that, you know, that will be coming up on 6 months off since the injury. And you get rated. You know, every month I'll do like a rating test and physical therapy, and they'll test the pressure and the strength of the thumb with these readings. And as long as I can get the readings up to match the left hand, I should get all clear. But physically I feel good. I feel fit.
17th of April.
Correct.
That's pretty soon, after such a long wait. Your weight's still magnificent. You don't bloat up.
You know, I take care of it. I'm not going to lie, I enjoy my food while I'm off. I enjoy the things that we don't get to enjoy on a daily basis. But since I've been here, we've, you know, the family, I've got the whole family. Yesterday we went on a 6 mile beach run, and I'll just put the sweat clothes on and I'll just, you know, I'll start taking care of the weight.
Did Craig Banfield, the ex-footballer, him and I played football together. One of the great footballers in the Premier League was Craig Banfield. Did he run?
He did not run. I don't know if he was busy or...
You got to be busy. He's had a few injuries too. But, so you get the all clear on the 17th, by the 20th, 21st, 22nd, you're back on horses.
Yeah, that would be great. That's the plan, yeah.
Oh, well, we can only wish you everything of the best, Sheldon. It's wonderful that we've managed to take some time out with you, because I've seen parts of your career on Facebook, and I've seen that most of your successes coming up. You won another, and that's great. I'll certainly keep an eye out for you, and let's hope you stay free of injuries for a long spell.
I appreciate it. Thanks for having me on the show.
Excellent. Well, there we go. That's Sheldon Russell. His father, Dean, is funny enough out with Theo Kieser in Singapore. They're great mates, and they used to ride together, and they're working out there. And Theo's doing very well. I saw him in Australia. But it's good to see another Russell coming through. Keep an eye out for him. His name's Sheldon Russell.
Your world of winners is now online at www.teletrack.com. Simply subscribe to log into your account from any mobile device in South Africa and access a wide variety of content from our membership package options. Listen in via a live audio stream, catch live racing locally and internationally, or view a wide variety of Teletrack magazine shows to stay informed and updated on the go at any time. It's never been easier. Go to teletrack.com now.